Hello there. I am the developer and maintainer of Uranium Power, and today I will give a tutorial of sort of how to play this mod. A lot of people have requested. But first I'd like to thank the artist who have helped me in making all these really nice assets. His name is Entry. He's been helping me a lot since I do most of the coding and I don't really do much of the graphic, but I guess I will have to learn how to do all this Blender stuff. And of course I would also like to thank the originator of this mod. His name is Liquius. He had left this mod in my hands since he's no longer able to contribute to it because of time. Okay, so let us start with clearing out these forest poison capsule. Clear these trees. Alright, so while we're clearing this tree, I will talk a bit about the resources introduced in this mod. There are only really two resources. The first one is called fluorite, and the second one is called uraninite. And the fluorite are these little purple patches that you see here. The uraninite are these green ones here, as you can see. Now, world gen wise, these resources are not, or rather the uraninite are not very abundant, but balance wise it's really balanced, so you don't have too much of the uraninite, which forces you to think about how to use them, right? And once I implement the fuel decay, you will of course have to manage your uranium resources. You get quite a bit of energy out of them, but they do deplete, so unlike this humongous mass of coal here, right, you don't have to worry that you don't have enough coal, right? I mean, a patch of uraninite like this should last you a fairly long time. I think maybe a week of game time, possibly. That's quite a bit right here, right? So, alright, so now that this is clear, I'm gonna have to get rid of this rock. Where's my tool? There we go. Alright, we're gonna select this one. No, I don't want that. Want the selector. There you go. Alright, remove. And I don't want that ore. Okay. So, first thing you need to do is find some of these patches, right? It's likely that when you spawn into the world you will have maybe one or two of these patches. If you're lucky, 3 maybe, or 2. But once you have some of these patches, you will need to at least research oil cracking. So this here requires you have to have sulfur processing, right? And for sulfur processing you need to research oil processing, right? And oil processing requires you to have steel. So once you have the technology prerequisite, you research the uranium processing, you immediately get access to all of these other buildings, okay? And it's rather overwhelming, you know, all this other stuff, but I didn't really want to create extra technologies just to lock stuff behind. I mean, it's an energy production after all. You need energy for the gameplay, so why gate it any further? Okay, so in order to get your hands on some of these green stuff and some of these purple stuff, you will need to mine it, and you mine it like you normally would with any kind of mining. You can use a burner drill, electric mining drill, or any other miner that other mod has added. For example, Decay or Mo mods or Bob's mods, whichever mod you prefer, you can use. So I'll just use the vanilla miner, and let's use 2. Okay, we'll need 2. Oh, perfect. So this will just fit one patch, and I will simply need this patch. Okay, so we need some basic belt. Let's get a stack of these. Okay. Alright. So now let's pretend that these are mining. So you will get the ore on the belt. You will need to process that ore. You will turn that ore into what's called uraninite slurry. And with this you require water. So the slurry is made in an assembly machine. Okay, it's not in a chemical factory. Alright, so we need an assembler. I'll just use the tier 3 here. You don't have to. Use the tier 3. It's not needed really. Okay, so we also need some basic inserter. Basics inserter are sufficient. They don't process that fast, so we don't really need fast speed. Okay, so the crafting of uranium power has its own tab. Anything that can be crafted under uranium power, of course, you just click over there and you just click to the one that you need. So it needs water, so we'll need an offshore pump. Okay, offshore pump. I also need some pipe. Let's get a stack of this. The mod I'm using is called test mode. It's very useful. Okay. There we go. Let's connect this piece in. Yes. Alright, so the slurry will come out this way. We will also need to turn the fluorite into fluorine. Okay. And this here is made in a chemical factory. Alright. Actually, let's place it a little closer. Yes. Alright, I can do this. Alright, so click here for the fluorine gas. Of course, fluorine is a diatomic gas. That's why we drew the icon to have two little lobes here. Okay. Alright, so the fluorine gas is made, and you will combine this fluorine gas with the slurry at another stage. Okay. So the main reason to make the slurry is to combine the slurry with sulfuric acid in order to make a yellow cake. Yellow cake is what is combined with the fluorine gas to make the uranium hexafluoride. Okay. So we need one more step, right? We need to have sulfuric acid production. Let me see how I will fit this in. I could do it here. Yes. Let's see. Okay. So we would rather prefer that. Okay. So how about that then? Yes. Oops, no, wrong. I need to mix sulfuric acid. Yeah, sulfuric acid. Okay, and this here is the slurry, uraninite, and into the yellow cake. If that's right, let's see. That should be right. Okay. Water. Right, we will need to get water from there. And I will need to pipe this down. Yes. Good, good. Okay, so I will need another factory down here, because you turn the chemical plant here that is making the yellow cake and mix this with the chlorine gas, fluorine gas. Yeah, that would work. Perfect. Like so. And we'll make the first product. Okay. And for this one here, I will remove it a little bit further in. I will have one inserter go this way, one inserter go this way to return the empty barrel. Yes, okay. Alright, so this here, once we turn it on, will allow us to combine this uraninite and the fluoride to ultimately make the uranium hexafluoride, which is the first starting point, right? This, you want this in order to start your enrichment chain, without which you can't make fuel assemblies, new energy. Okay. Now I will proceed to create the entire chain itself. Alright, you will understand why. So the way that this chain works is that some of the input is returned to the output, and you also get a new output. Okay, so if you look, this here is an input of 0.7. It is combined, enriched into two outputs, a 0.2 and a 1.2%. Okay, the next step is the 1.2%. You will enrich the 1.2% to the 1.7, but in doing so, you also create a 0.7. All right, so this 0.7 needs to have a place to go. Right, otherwise it will clog up your machine. So the best way to do that, or at least my way of doing that, you can choose however you want to do it, as long as there are no clogging of the outputs, right, is to join one of the output to one of the input on the previous step. Okay, and that's how I do it. You can do it however you want. There are no restrictions as long as what you're doing works. Okay, so this is how I connect the one of the output to the input of the next part. Okay, and then I will simply daisy chain this, all the way up. But of course, I ran out of room up there, so I may have to invent a bit so that it will work. Let's see. Yes, I may have to move this up. I'm so glad for the 0.12 update. I mean, now the bends don't introduce slowdown anymore. Okay, or rather, decompress the stuff that's on the belt. Okay, so I have to move one up because of the water that's right there. And I need some more of these chemical plants. You will use a lot of these chemical plants. I don't recall if I allow you to use productivity modules on here. Let me test this. Can you use productivity modules? Nope, you can't. Alright, so the best thing you can probably do is speed modules, but I would recommend it. I mean, there's no reason to. So I would simply use efficiency modules. One of the rule of thumbs in Factorial is you don't use speed modules without productivity modules. They work well together. Okay, so This is a 1.7 here. 2.2. 2.7. This would be 3.2. 3.7, and finally 4.2. Okay. Now once you set this up, it stays with you for the duration of that factorial sessions. I mean, unless you move your base, I mean, you would have to set up again, but otherwise, it, you know, there's no reason to mess with it. So stash it somewhere in your factory, in some place that you don't really venture over. Okay, so this here is the final output. Okay, now this final output, or rather, well, in this case it is the final output, but you can in fact use any of the output here to make your assembly. The lowest that you can use is, I believe, 1.7. Yes. So, ooh, I didn't make an output here. Okay. So any one of these here, up from 1.7 up, can be used to make a few assemblies. The amount of heat that can be produced depends on the enrichment stage of the assembly, the fuel assembly. So I highly recommend that you go to the final enrichment stage. That way you can get more heat out of your fuel assemblies. This is actually quite critical once I implement fuel decay, because as your fuel decay, you will actually get less heat out of them. And so if the fuel assembly are highly enriched, you sort of stave off the periods where you get less and less heat. I need another assembler machine. Okay. And from here you simply select the pellets. Okay. That's it. So this here will create pellets, and you use the pellets to create the fuel assemblies. Okay. So we'll need another one. Yes. Right. Just one inserter is enough. And from there you create the fuel assemblies. Okay. As you can see, each fuel assembly requires 50 of the pellets and 2 steel plates. Okay, you can choose in the recipe. Okay. They're all the same. So I will provide the steel from a chest. Okay, because we're cheating, and of course I don't want to create a steel line just to demonstrate how to use this mod. I need 48 stacks. And I will do the same for this. This requires sulfur iron plate. 2 steel chests, please. Oops. Like this. How about we put it inside here? Yeah. Like this. Sulfur. 48. Iron plate. Okay, we are almost done. Okay, the only thing we have to do now is, of course, provide power. I'm going to just slot these with efficiency modules. Too many. Okay, one more thing before we plug this in and turn it on. We need to provide a consumption, right? You need to consume this output here, otherwise you will halt. So we need another assembler. And this makes that. Okay, so what exactly do you do with this 0.2%? Well, at the moment you can only use it to make ammo. There are 2 ammo. There is the depleted uranium rounds, and there is the shells. Okay, both of these are highly effective ammo, I would say. So very useful for you to use and blow up the natives. This works well even till the end game. So I highly recommend you use these ammo. This is piercing. I believe it is piercing, yes. And this, of course, is it has explosion as well. So a few of these shots, maybe one or two, is enough to take out one of those spawner. So let's see. And besides, you end up with loads of these pellets. So they also will have a use once once I implement fuel decay. You will need them in order to breed your fuel. Okay, so they're not wasted after all. Once I implement fuel decay, you will find that the 0.2% has a lot of use, and if you don't use it, you will lose a vast majority of your energy without them. So I highly recommend that you save them somewhere if you have no use for them now. Otherwise, in your patch of uraninite would yield less energy than a patch of coal. Okay, we're going to need an inserter to kind of shove this somewhere. How about I do that? I like my factory to be compact, although space is of course unlimited. Okay, so let's turn this on. We need medium poles. Already I don't like the way they look. What can I do? Okay. I like them nice and straight. I think everybody who plays Factorio is a bit OCD, so don't mind me while I kind of find a way to place these so that they are nice. Nice anyway in my mind. Oh, there we go. Okay, so how are we gonna power these? Well, unfortunately we don't have any nuclear power plant right now, but we do have this nice patch of coal. I'm going to take advantage of it. So let's get some really nice power plant going. Power with coal. You'd be wondering, oh, why is he powering with coal when he's playing with uranium? Well, you do have to start somewhere, right? Once you have your uranium power plant, of course, you can disconnect the coal and whatnot. But in the meantime, we will need it. So let's get some boiler. There we go, boilers. I will simply need 10 of you. Alright. We will need inserter, the burner kind. Okay. And of course belt. Alright. And of course the miners. Where are those burner mining drills? There we are. there's a way to feed them as well. Let's see if I can do that. So they can mine and feed themselves. Yes, that should work. Alright. So all we have to do is... I have some wood. That should start the process. Yes. So the excess will basically go on, okay? Whereas the non-excess will stay. Huh? Something's wrong. Can't do that. Yeah, it's supposed to be left. Yeah, right. Okay. There we go. We're now cooking with coal. Okay, so I need some steam engine. I will need 10. I probably need a few more boilers, right? 13 to be exact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. Okay. There we go. Blasted trees. Get out of my way. There we go. Fantastic. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5. There we go. 6. Need the space. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah. Fancy. That's it. And of course, we will link this up to our factory over there. I will use these nice picture electric pole. Very good for linking long distance. There you go. And everything is starting. What are you complaining about? Oops. Don't need to give you that much. Is that a bug? How come the inserter is not grabbing that coal? Interesting. That used to not be the case. It's supposed to grab from there. This is bad, actually. The fact that the inserter can't grab from the corner. Was it just because... Alright, don't matter. Okay, so, as you can see, Uranium is being delivered. What is going on? Oh, yes, we are missing the barrel. We need 2 empty barrels. Alright, you got 2 barrels here. Just put them in. And there we go. Our first batch of raw uranium hexafluoride, 0.7. And as you can see, this is proceeding up the chain. And once it has proceeded up the chain, you will make your very first pellet. So we'll sit and watch. Okay. Now I generated this map only 300 by 300, so we won't have too much room to demonstrate a very large steam engine farm, but I have another map. That's the example build, and you can take a look at that in order to see how I've built my steam engine farm. Of course, with the new release of 0.6.2, you don't really need to do the steam engine farm method anymore. You could if you want. In fact, it might be a good idea to use the steam engine farm in the early part of the game before you can afford all of the processing units, because the new buildings are processing units heavy. The reason why I made it that way is because they are very space saving. I mean, you have a block of what, 15 by 15, and you're able to produce 30 megawatts, 60 megawatts worth of energy, so of power, I mean, and that is a significant saving. That's outstrip any kind of solar power plant that I know of. Okay, you can't produce 60 megawatts of power in a 15 by 15 block, so you can try that in one chunk. In fact, you can't do that unless, of course, you modify the power of the solar power plant. But then again, that's modded. Modded, you can do anything you want. Have enough power? Yes, yes we do. Right, what do we have here? I am not happy with this. What is wrong with this thing? Yes. That just won't do. Oh no, we have too much coal. I have a stack of coal in my hand. I don't know what to do with it. Fantastic. Okay. Anyways, let's look at our chain again. Do we have anything up here? Do we have anything up here? And we are stuck. Why? Because we did not do this. Alright, things are cruising along. Very good. Our first pallet. Yay. Excellent. Alright. So this will eventually reach 50, and you would get your first fuel assembly. Okay. So I will pause the video here, and we will return once that fuel assembly is made, and we will then start with the creation of the first reactor. See you in a bit.